transforming economy. Steel industry will boost industrialization. Governor Inyegona charges workers on improved service delivery. AFCON 2021 qualifier, however, triples in the high grade for Benin Clash. Hello, good morning. Thanks for joining us on MCL News. I am Izzy Rafu. Now the news and details. Nigerian Economic Summit Group (NESG) says that the nation's economy can become globally competitive if it can let go of subsidies and channel the money into infrastructure development and investment. The occasion was the launch of his documentary titled In the National Interest and Coffee Table Photo Book in Lagos. A member of the Group's board, Vene Ifort, said that a lot of policies supported by NESG has been implemented, even though it is not at the desired pace. He said the NESG will continue to develop and ensure the growth of the Nigerian economy. NESG's Chief Executive Officer Laraye Derola said the nation's population doubles every 30 years, pointing the need to double infrastructural, social and human capital development to meet up with population growth. The newly launched documentary film focuses not only on details about the past, present and future circumstances for Nigeria, but also takes a critical look at the economic activities through the different timelines from the lens of the NESG. The group is a private sector think tank founded to bridge the gap between the private and public sectors in order to mitigate the struggles of everyday Nigerians and to enable widespread prosperity. She further disclosed that the committee will take the example of Rwanda with 68% of women population as lawmakers and 50% as cabinet members and Supreme Court judges. The lawmaker disclosed that her committee reorganized an annual Women in Parliament Week where distinguished women from all over the world will present papers on issues affecting women and other mentorship sessions for young girls. The committee members later adopted a document dubbed Action Plan to streamline results on the issues and which is expected to guide the operations of the House Committee. The Nigerian Metallurgical Society (NMS) says that the resuscitation of all the steel industries in the country will lead to the nation's industrialization and create thousands of jobs for the youth. Its president, Professor Suleiman Hassan, said the metallurgical industries can contribute meaningfully to the development of human resources and poverty reduction in the country. Professor Hassan said Ajokuta Steel Company Limited if completed, is capable of generating no less than 50,000 jobs for the Nigerian teeming youth. NMS President, who is also the Director General, Nigerian Institute of Mining and Geosciences, JOS, stated this on Thursday in Ilorin at the Society's 2019 Conference and Annual General Meeting, AGM. The theme of the AGM was the role of metallurgical industries in sustainable development goals. He said on completion of the first phase of the Ajokuta Steel Company Limited, it will generate about 10,000 job opportunities for the teeming youth. This will progressively increase to about 20,000 workforce at the third phase, and it is a known fact that for every job created in the steel plant, 20 other jobs are created upstream and downstream each. President Muhammad Buhari on Thursday evening arrived Makkah, Saudi Arabia at the end of a 3-day Future Investment Initiative (FII) held in Riyadh, the capital of Saudi Arabia. President was received by His Royal Highness Prince Badr bin Sultan bin Abdulaziz, the Deputy Governor of Makkah region, and other government officials at the King Abdulaziz International Airport, Jeddah, at about 7:05 p.m. local time. While in Makkah, President Buhari, alongside some members of his entourage, will perform the Laysa Hajj and also observe the Friday prayers at the Grand Mosque in Makkah. Before leaving Riyadh, President Muhammad Buhari had met behind closed doors with Crown Prince of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman bin Abdulaziz. The president has also on Wednesday met with King Salman bin Abdulaziz, where the two leaders expressed their determination for deeper partnership, especially in the areas of oil and gas for the development of both countries. President Buhari also met with U.S. Treasury Secretary Stephen Mnuchin in Riyadh on Wednesday, where he had positive discussions on investments in Nigeria under the new United States International Development Finance Corporation (USIDFC), which provides $16 billion for investments in developing nations. All the meetings were held on the sidelines of the Future Investment Initiative (FII) Summit, which ended on Thursday in Riyadh. Buhari will on Saturday, November 2nd, proceed to the United Kingdom on a private visit and is expected to return to Nigeria on November 17th. The House of Representatives has decried the low participation of women in governance in the country. Chairman of the House Committee on Women in Parliament, Taiwo Oluga, during the inaugural meeting of the committee, declared that it is only 11 women that are elected in the National Assembly. Describing the situation as unacceptable, she called for more active involvement of women into elective positions at the country's legislatures. Oluga promised to reach out to other notable African parliaments, including the Commonwealth Women in Parliament, to ensure effective representation of women in political positions, as well as tackle issues of rights and abuses. She further stated that the committee will liaise with the Senate's leadership on issues relating to women representation in the Federal Executive Council (FEC) and other agencies of government to achieve at least 35% women inclusion in governance at all levels in the country. The committee will work in partnership with the Ministry of Women Affairs, National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons (NACTI), and sister agencies to curb human trafficking, child prostitution, and defend the provisions of the Child Rights Act. She further disclosed that the committee will take the example of Rwanda, with 68% of women population as lawmakers and 50% as cabinet members and Supreme Court judges. Governor Emeka Ihedioha of Imo State has challenged public servants in the state to improve service delivery, urging them to justify the present administration's huge investments in them. The governor also said that he has put machinery in place to ensure total reform of the state civil service, describing it as necessary for the success of his administration. The governor, who was represented by his deputy, Gerald Iwona, said this summit has been convened with a view to reviving and reinventing the Imo State public service and aligning it with our vision to rebuild, reposition, and transform Imo State to become one of the three most developed economies in Nigeria by the year 2025. Gerald Iwona, who gave the explanation while speaking at a public service stakeholders summit organized by the state government on Thursday in Owerri, described the public service as the engine room of the public sector. Iwona added that a vibrant and motivated public service is necessary for the success of every administration. The Taraba State Governor, Darius Ishaku, has revealed that the 3,050 megawatts Mambila hydropower project in Taraba State has been moribund in the last 20 years. Ishaku, who disclosed this at the headquarters of the Federal Ministry of Power recently in Abuja, however, stated that the state is ready to support the federal government to ensure that the ongoing work on the project is successful. On its part, the Minister of Power, Sule Maman, said the actualization of the 3,050 megawatts Mambila hydropower project in Taraba will have direct impact on the people and on the growth of the state. He called for the support of the Taraba state government in order to actualize the project, adding that the federal government is ready to cooperate with the state government in ensuring speedy completion of the project. The international oil companies, IOCs, are said to be owing the federal government $62 billion in outstanding revenue accruable from production sharing contract (PSC), as stated by the Supreme Court judgment that ordered the revisit of the fiscal terms of existing PSC. On 17 October 2018, the Supreme Court delivered a consent judgment in the case between the Attorney General AG of Akwa Ibom State and two others versus AG of the Federation. The judgment mandated the federal government to increase its share of revenue under PSC whenever the price of crude oil exceeds $20 per barrel, in line with Section 16, subsection 1 of the Deep Offshore Inland Basin Production Sharing Contract Act. Giving updates on the judgment execution, Akwa Ibom State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice Uremedimo Boko said, and I quote, "Well, the truth is that on the 17th of October 2018, the Supreme Court gave judgment to the plaintiffs in that matter, plaintiffs being Akwa Ibom, Rivers, and Bayelsa States. It was actually a consent judgment because even the Attorney General of the Federation, who was a defendant in that case, entered into an agreement for settlement, so it was a consent judgment delivered by the Supreme Court. The committee that was set up on the instructions of the Supreme Court to enforce that judgment has presented a demand of $62 billion calculated on well-established principles on the statute to the oil companies for payments, and instead of paying that money, they have decided to play games with the judicial process. We also want to recall that the IOC is working through a subterfuge agency. The Lagos Chamber of Commerce tried to frustrate that case, but the Supreme Court awarded punitive costs against the lawyer to the Lagos State Chambers of Commerce, ordering him to pay $2 million to each of the states, including the Attorney General of the Federation, and the lawyer had to pay personally, and we collected our $2 million. End of quote. Owing to ignorance, imbecility is regarded as a spiritual attack or a curse from the gods. But this position is gradually changing due to awareness creation regarding this condition that usually places a huge burden on parents. Medically, it refers to as lack of normal development of intellectual capacities. In this report, Olusegun Agbakoba takes a look at the causes and management of imbecility. The reports.
It is from the Latin word imbecilitatem, meaning weakness. The term was once used by psychiatrists to denote a category of people with moderate to severe intellectual disability. It fell out of professional use in the 20th century in favor of mental retardation. Based on research, it was discovered that imbecility is very often caused by nervous disorders in early childhood. Based on research, it was discovered that imbecility is very often caused by nervous disorder in early childhood. When one is born an imbecile, there are chances the child will start speaking too late. It also affects physical development of the child. A medical practitioner, Dr. Chioma Ohanenye, says when couples are above 40 years, they have the chances of giving birth to an imbecile due to lack of blood fluctuation.
The more advanced the age of the parents, the more likely that they will have a child with Down syndrome. But however, it doesn't follow. You may even have a younger mother, like I said, who will have all her children without any form of imbecility. So these ones are just occurring, like it's like prevalence of, the chances that their child will become imbecile is more likely than if the age range is within 30, 40.
Dr. Ohanenye speaks further on causes and management of imbecility.
Chances of imbecility, in the commonest one we find here, which is Down syndrome, in advanced age in the mother causes it most of the times. Also, younger age, if a woman, who is just, let's say, 20, 23, 24, can also have Down syndrome. There is no way to know. Early age, late age, and it might even be worse with mother and father being but mostly the mother. Then talking about the other causes can also be genetic, because some of these genes are so abnormal that it's happening inside the womb and there's no way you know until the child comes out. Then a mother who is well informed should not take alcohol during pregnancy because of fetal alcohol syndrome, which manifests, and one of them is having a child that is mentally retarded. Then again, drugs are given to the mother, folic acid, to prevent neural tube defects. It protects them from having an abnormal baby. Because if that baby is abnormal or something is happening to the brain that did not mature very well, that child may be a candidate.
She advised parents to be patient with them because it's not their fault that they were born that way. Ogechukwu Abakoba, MCL News.
Still to come on the news, sanitary condition of poultry plants of salt poses health hazards. Federal government set to regulate media space to curb fake news, hate speech. Regular blood donation reduces the risk of heart attack, says MBTS. Details after the break from our Omaha studios. Do stay with us.
Somebody baby, let me say, somebody baby, I'll post right.
Do not deface Abia State with posters. Do not defecate on our streets. Do not litter Abia State.
My brothers, I say wetin man go do for this world where people no go talk. If you chop,
Do not urinate in public places.
you no chop, dem go talk. Wetin make you do for this world? I say make we go do the things wey we carry for heart. Na so one want am. Abi no be so?
Keep Abia State clean. This message is brought to you by MCLtv.
You're welcome back. At this point, we're connecting with our Omaha studios where Emmanuel Wanzo is standing by with some news reports. Good morning, Emmanuel.
The existence of a newly created poultry sub point at Club Road in Umuahia is posing a health hazard to the public owing to the poor sanitary condition of the area. Inchitachi Chukwada, who visited the area, reports that the poor sanitation of the area appears not to deter people from patronizing the sellers. And here's her report.
The poultry sales point is strategically located along Club Road, Umuahia, and accessible to customers from Cooperative, Mission Hill and Upper Square axis. The location of the sales point provides traders the opportunity to make brisk business, unlike their counterparts in other markets. It is gathered that some traders run poultry businesses in other markets across the city but transfer a bulk to the sales point because of higher patronage. On a visit to the area, MCL News observed that the point is not just a sales point but serves as an abattoir of sorts where poultry are slaughtered and processed for buyers for a fee of between 100 and 200 naira. As is usual with abattoir, there were traces of dirt and poor sanitation emitting a thick stench that filled the air. It however appears that the traders are either oblivious of this or have developed a thick skin to the stench. The lack of or poor observance of the stench was the same with the buyers who trek to the area, especially during weekends, to buy poultry from the traders, not minding the sanitary condition of the business area. Although the sales point is a source of livelihood, its sanitation and hygienic condition should be of top priority. Uchetachi Chukwaja, MCL News.
The federal government says plans are in place to regulate the use of social media to curtail the spread of fake news and hate speech. The Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, said the government will implement reforms in the media industry and sanction any offender. Mohammed added that the reform will be extended to social media, which he described as totally out of control. The minister maintained that no responsible government will sit back and allow activities such as fake news and hate speech to continue unchecked. However, some Nigerians are already criticizing the move by government, accusing it of planning to use hate speech and fake news as a means to clamp down on critical views. The National Blood Transfusion Service, NBTS, is encouraging Nigerians to engage in regular blood donation. The agency says regular blood donation reduces the risk of heart attack and burns calories. It made the call on Thursday in Abuja through its national coordinator, Dr. Oluwatoyin Smith. According to her, regular blood donation reduces the risk of cardiovascular disease, improves heart health, agility, revitalizes the body and improves general well-being. She said it improves heart health and reduces incidences of cardiovascular disease and heart attack. The NBTS boss explained that before donating blood, health workers must carry out minimum check on donors to ascertain hemoglobin level and blood pressure. She also explained that the health workers would also get detailed medical history as well as screen for HIV, hepatitis B and C, syphilis, among others. U.S. House of Representatives took a major step in their efforts to impeach President Donald Trump on Thursday. They approved rules for the next stage, including public hearings and the Democratic-led inquiry into Trump's attempt to have Ukraine investigate a domestic political rival. In the first formal test of support for the impeachment investigation, the Democratic-controlled House voted almost entirely along party lines, having 232 to 196 votes to move the probe forward in Congress. The vote demonstrated unity among Democrats who accused Trump of abusing his office and jeopardizing national security, but they did not pick up a single Republican vote. Republicans accused Democrats of using impeachment to overturn the result of the 2016 election, and the White House said Democrats had an unhinged obsession with impeachment. However, President Donald Trump has described the move as the greatest witch hunt in American history. And with that, we wrap it up from here, and it's back to you, for the rest of the news. My name is Emmanuel Mazet, and good morning to you.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel Wazu, for those reports from the capital city. And in sports, Super Eagles camp may not come alive until a few hours to the 2021 African Cup of Nations qualifier against the Squirrels of Benin Republic in Uyo on Thursday, November 14th. The duo of Samuel Chukwueze and Joe Aribo are likely to top the list of latecomers. Both players are expected to hit camp on Tuesday for the midweek game after featuring for their various clubs on Sunday night. Others likely to arrive late are Vice Captain William Struce Ekong, Abdullah Shehu, Michael Ago, Moses Simon, Paul Onatru, and Emmanuel Dennis, who will also be on parade some nights. The Nigerian Football Federation NFF's application for a shift to Thursday, November 14th is yet to be assented to by the Confederation of African Football (CAF). Nigerian players abroad are, after representing their various European clubs, can only hit Uyo latest on Monday nights, leaving them to train 24 hours before the duel. Barring any hitch, the team captain Ahmed Musa, Kenneth Omera, Chigozie Awazim, and Samuel Faro, who will be off duty at club level, are expected as early birds in camp for their tie. The Nigerian side aims at smashing all barriers in the AFCON qualifiers opener against less fancied neighbors when they file out next week, while the team's handler Gen Austria will be seen to avoid defeat after a 0-2 loss on same soil to South Africa in the last qualifying series. Super Eagles coach Gen Austria has expressed his displeasure over his side's tight African Cup of Nations qualifying schedules in November. Nigeria will open her Group L campaign against the Republic of Benin on November 13th before taking on Lesotho 4 days later. The German tactician has unveiled a strong 23-man squad for the encounters as the three-time African champions kick off their quest to feature in the 2021 edition of the Biennial Tournament. Rahul led the Super Eagles to claim their 8th bronze medal at this year's edition, has revealed his frustration at his side's schedules. Our players from Europe will only get to us a day or two before the first game, so there is no time for adaptation to the African conditions, Rahul said as per BBC Sport. After that game on Thursday, we travelled to Lesotho on Friday to play on an artificial surface on Sunday. This is not ideal and proper for anything. We've spoken to CAF about this, but nothing has been done. End of quote. Nigeria played 2 friendlies against Ukraine and Brazil in their preparation for the qualifiers, which ended in draws. And to end the news, a look at our major stories. Nigerian Economic Summit Group (NESG) says that the nation's economy can become globally competitive if it can let go of subsidies and channel the money into infrastructure development and investments. The Nigerian Meteorological Society (NMS) says that the resuscitation of all the steel industries in the country will lead to the nation's industrialization and create thousands of jobs for the youths. We also told you that Governor Emeka Ihedioha of Imo State has challenged public servants in the state on improved service delivery, urging them to justify the present administration's huge investments in them. And in sports, Super Eagles camp may not come alive until a few hours to the 2021 African Cup of Nations qualifier against the Squirrels of Benin Republic in Uyo on Thursday, November 14th. That was the news. Thanks for watching. Please do join us again by 8 a.m. for Good Morning Abia. I am Izini Wafo. Do have a nice day.